Today is August 21st. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey, and we are brought to you each and every day by Munganast St. Louis Acura and Royal Banks of Missouri. Rammer, happy Drew Rom Day. He makes his Major League debut in just a few hours.
Yeah, that'll be get another look at another guy new to the organization. Had a couple of good outings with Memphis. Just a kid, 23 years old. So see what he's got and try and get a handle on what the future holds. I'll tell you, I watched games all weekend long, and in a season that is so bad, to watch the young guys in particular this weekend, Mason win was a lot of fun for me anyway.
Yeah. Drew Rom, by the way, we'll get into the Mason Win weekend. Drew Rom, a left-hander who was drafted in the fourth round of the 2018 draft by the Baltimore Orioles. He was traded over to the Cardinals in exchange for Jack Flaherty. Also coming along with him was Cesar Pareto and Zach Showalter. Pareto, I've seen a few highlights of him already down in the minor leagues with some of the games that he's had down there. So two of those names coming back for Flaherty, already making waves, doing something within the Cardinals organization. So you like to see that kind of return this quickly. Back to the weekend, though. Hall of Fame weekend. Jose Oquendo honored most of the weekend. You saw, Claibs and I were talking about this on the lunch show today. It shows just how important and how meaningful Jose Oquendo was to so many in this organization, for how many people came back to honor the secret weapon, get his red jackets.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's part of that George Kissel Cardinal Way legacy. And he not only accepted it, he embraced it. He believes it. He lived it. He's taught it with the Kissels, and a guy that I really I miss George a lot, and I really miss Dave Ricketts. He and I connected a lot, and he passed away a number of years ago. And those are the kind of guys that really wore that birds on the bat, and it meant something to them, and to teach the game the right way. So anyway, I'm glad to see people recognizing Mr. Oquendo in a not quite a lifer, because he came up with the Mets, but basically a lifer with the Cardinals organization.
I mean, even got Tony La Russa to come back to St. Louis for the weekend. I don't know if you saw the interview he did with the Cat on the TV, but he dropped a tied for first during that as well. I really enjoyed that part of it. So, but yeah, he kind of had the whole weekend to himself with Max Lanier not being around to accept his honor. So it was a nice weekend for Jose Oquendo against, as you mentioned, the team that he came up with, the New York Mets, in town for the weekend. Mason Wynn also made, and that's another thing too. So Mason Wynn makes his debut. Mason Wynn has credited Jose Oquendo for a lot of the things that he has learned in his brief time with the Cardinals. And with it being Hall of Fame weekend, Ozzie Smith was also in attendance, and Ozzie Smith is a huge fan of Mason Wynn and vice versa. So it really was a perfect time to bring him up with everything going around at the time, and hopefully maybe calmed a little bit of the nerves, but I can't imagine it did. I would imagine knowing Oquendo and Ozzie were there watching him this weekend probably made it even more nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the young man to know how he handles pressure. We're told he's a great kid who may have leadership qualities as he gets a little bit older. But imagine having Oquendo and Ozzie to lean on for teaching the game and learning the game and understanding the game. You can't be in a better situation as a young shortstop.
Right. I mean, you name those names, and then you look at the other 21-year-old on the Cardinals, Jordan Walker, who has Willie McGee right there too in the dugout to help him with so much stuff. So these young kids are in very good hands.
It's funny when you think about Wynn as a sign and develop guy in the organization. it's been 45 years since the Cardinals had this kind of a player at shortstop come up through the system. I'm going all the way back to Gary Templeton, and Templeton was an offensive juggernaut from day one. They called him Jump Steady, and he was an offensive threat from the jump. He was a little erratic in the field, but could make spectacular plays. So I think it's a little bit of a reverse. I think Mason's offense is going to come around. He was really good the last 2 months, 3 months really in Memphis. But we see the defense is already at elite level.
So Rammer, we have a game tonight. It's Pirates and Cardinals, 6:05 start time at PNC Park. And I mentioned this is Drew Rom's major first appearance in a major league game. Drew Rom, I don't think I was familiar with this term until reading up about Drew Rom. He is referred to right now until he throws his first pitch tonight as a phantom ball player. Because this is not the first time that he has worn a major league uniform in a game. He was called up by the Orioles May 9th earlier this year, never appeared in a game. Was called up, wore the uniform, sat in the dugout, got sent right back down to AAA for the Orioles. So not technically his major league debut, but will be his first appearance in a major league game tonight when he throws that first pitch in the bottom of the first inning. I never had heard the term before, a phantom ball player, until reading about Drew Rom.
I'd want to talk to our friends at Baseball Reference. Let's say he retired in 5 minutes. He said, I can't take it. I'm retiring. My family's wealthy. I don't need the pressure. And he walks away. Does he appear in Baseball Reference? I don't think so. I think you got to be in a game. I don't think there's anybody in Baseball Reference that didn't appear in a game.
As it says, this is, I'm reading online, a phantom ball player is either a player who is incorrectly listed in source materials as playing in a major league game, often a clerical error, or somebody who has spent time on an MLB active roster without ever appearing in an MLB contest during his career.
I get that.
Yeah.
But would that player be listed anyway?
You do the research on that and let me know. But he will make his debut tonight. And here is the lineup that the Cardinals will put up behind him. Brought to you by Bootleggin' Tavern at 4501 Shoto. Hey, head there before you head out to the Beyonce concert tonight at the Dome. I know you'll see Rammer out there with all the single ladies dancing at for that. Tommy Edman, he is in center field and he leads off. Tyler O'Neill bats second tonight and plays left. Paul Goldschmidt at first. Nolan Arenado at third. Wilson Contreras DHs. Jordan Walker in right. Andrew Kisner behind the plate. Jose Fermin is back at second, and Mason Wynn continues to win this bet that I have with Rammer as he bats ninth and plays short for the Cardinals. The Pirates lineup looks like this behind Thomas Hatch. Ke'Bryan Hayes leads off and plays third. Brian Reynolds in left. Andrew McCutchen is DHing. Connor Joe at first. Endy Rodriguez is in center. Joshua Palacios is in right. Layover Piguero is at second. Sure. Jack Sawinski is in center. And Alika Williams is at short for the Pirates, who are 55 and 69 on the season. The Cardinals, 55 and 70 on the season. Cardinals have a chance to, I guess, crawl out of the cellar with a win tonight.
Well, I think they get to the top of the cellar steps, technically be out, but their legs may still be dragging down the steps.
Yeah, right. They're tied for last.
Tied for last. Very good.
No Lars Nootbaar tonight. I wonder if Lars is available tonight. If he starts tonight, does Edman go to second then? And I'm as this lineup is put together, there has to be somebody else that you can put at second base over Jose Fermin, right?
Well,
is there just nobody there available right now?
Well, Fermin, you don't think Fermin's a good player?
Come on. we know what it is. I mean, he
We
wouldn't
we
if they
didn't
were in a
DFA.
pennant race.
We didn't DFA Mater, did we?
I don't think they have.
Well, then he's available.
Okay. I mean, this is what it's come to this year. Jose Fermin, who I remember getting the press release that the Cardinals got Jose Fermin this offseason, touting his glove, and didn't think he would make much of an impact on the team this year, given the amount of shortstops and second basemen ahead of him. And here he is starting at the end of August.
No, I don't think he's making much of an impact. I think that statement's still true.
Okay, good points.
But he's just a kid. Is he 24 yet? He's 23 or 24. So, I have no problem with it.
I mean, it's one of those where I want to sit here and I want to complain about the lineup, but also given the record, who am I talking to? I'm just. You
want my complaint? Herrera's not in the lineup.
Yeah, Richie Palacios had a nice game yesterday. He's not in the lineup today. I mean, I could sit there. If I had 3 hours to fill on the radio, I'd complain about it for a segment. I mean, I would make it work.
Would you?
I would, yeah.
Okay. All right.
One issue is I haven't seen who the umpires are this week for the Pirate series. I don't know if you saw yesterday the day that Laz Diaz and Angel Hernandez both had behind the plates yesterday.
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, Laz Diaz.
I just assume they're terrible every time.
They both. I mean, perfect storm. Like a hurricane and an earthquake hitting LA at the same time. I mean, you had Laz Diaz behind the plate in one game, Angel Hernandez behind the plate in another game. Laz Diaz 20 missed calls behind the plate yesterday, 4 of them resulting in strikeouts.
It's so bad.
Yeah. There was one point yesterday in the game. It was the Yankees game yesterday where I don't know if you saw that Harrison Bader was up. If people were watching, they might have seen it online. It was the Yankees-Red Sox game yesterday. And it was, as I'm scrolling through here to find out exactly who it was behind, if it was Laz Diaz or if it was Angel Hernandez. But there was a ball knee-high right down the middle. And catcher walks off, pitcher's walking off, Harrison Bader's walking off. All 3 of them are walking off thinking it's strike 3, innings over, and then they all have to be called back.
Come on, man.
At that point, if you see all 3 walking off, as an umpire, don't you just kind of, oh, okay, that's on me. All right, yeah, you're out of here.
Well, I don't know. You should do what you think is right. But so my take will get to reflect back to you and Little League. Knowing what you know about Major League umpires, there's no reason ever to complain about a Little League umpire. Be thankful they're there.
Right. Yeah. There's a reason they're not behind the home plate at Yankee Stadium.
Although probably some you see and some that I see at Ballparks National at the Lake of the Ozarks are better than Angel Hernandez and Laz Diaz, without question, right?
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, Angel Hernandez has had a worse game this season than what Laz Diaz had yesterday. So this is 20 missed calls. Yeah, 20 missed calls. Angel's just like, oh, okay, cool. Great game, Laz. The way I aspire to be.
Oh, God.
But it's, I mean, it's not great, but they got a strong union there for the umpires in Major League Baseball. Yep. Rammer, we will be back tomorrow to take a look at what Drew Rom did as a starting pitcher for the first time in Major League Baseball. Looking forward to watching the lefty pitch tonight. In the meantime, though, we are brought to you each and every day by Munganast St. Louis Acura and Rammer, also your friends at Royal Banks.
Royal Banks, for better service means better banking. Give them a call, 314-212-1500. Talk to an experienced lender and find out what they can do for you. Royal Banks, again, where better service means better banking.
I was out at Munganess St. Louis Acura earlier this afternoon. That's where Claves and I did the lunch show today. 100 new cars out there on the lot. The TLX, the MDX, the RDX, all kinds of Acuras out there for you. And as Clayton, the GM out there, said, they keep selling cars, which means they keep getting cars back in the trade-ins. So if you are looking for something in any models, just go by there and see what's being traded in as well. Not just the Acuras, all different kinds of cars out there at 13720 Manchester Road in St. Louis. We will be back tomorrow. Until then, he's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. This has been another edition of Daily Cards Live right here on ClavesOnline.com.
Smith corks one into right down the line. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Breeze hits it in the air to center. We will see you tomorrow night.
And there it is into left field. Hit number 3,000.
For the first time since 1982, St. Louis has a World Series winner.
On Sunday, September 3rd, take home an exclusive Cardinals Moment flag presented by Air National Guard. Visit cardinals.com/promotions.